And stream. Okay, all right, we're live. Wendy, thank you so much for being here. I want to welcome everyone that is watching the podcast. This new to podcast is meant to be a resource for people who are moving to new cities, people who are exploring cities they haven't been to, and also a way for them to meet people that can help them live their best life in all these cities. This week, I have Wendy Clemson, who is a mortgage professional at Core Mortgage Services, and she is in State College, Pennsylvania. That's for the sports fans out there. I'm sure you know that that's the home of Penn State. So you want to give a go Nittany Lions or something real quick, Wendy?
Go Nittany Lions.
All right. You did say you were a football fan, so
I am a football fan.
that's fantastic. I also noticed that recently my younger son, who's a wrestler, I've realized what a big deal Penn State is in wrestling. They are number one in the country by far because we watched the Nationals and Penn State was just dominant. I think they took like the gold for like half of the categories at the National Wrestling Final. So that was pretty cool to watch. Um,
Absolutely. Our wrestling team is as just as good as our football team is, if not better.
yeah, they were absolutely dominant, and they seemed to be a lot of really good kids too, which I thought was great to see. They were really representing Penn State well. Um, well, for those of you that don't know, Wendy is a 20-year veteran of the mortgage industry. This is a time when there's, of course, uh, uh, lots of challenges for a lot of people in getting into a home. It was so much easier years ago when people like me were buying in the 2000s or even 10 years ago because rates were so much lower and prices were lower, and it's a very interesting time, I think, particularly for young people that are uh, trying to figure out what they're doing. So we're going to come back to that in a little bit, but I wanted to first of all just um, talk about you and your story, Wendy. Tell us a little bit about um, State College and your history there.
Yeah, so thank you. Thank you for having me today. So I have lived in Center County all of my life, so it's been a long time. I've lived in State College now for about 20 years. I've raised four kids here. They
Wow,
are now all grown, and so now I'm a proud mom of three wiener dogs who are probably worse than the two-legged kids were. But you just keep going with the flow. So yeah, so we live here. We have been in this culture here for now for Penn State for 20 years, and it's quite the culture. Let me tell you. We
yeah,
have about 130,000 students here year round,
yep,
and just about every other
wow,
Saturday, if not every Saturday, from about August until October, we get an extra 100,000 people that come to State
that's
College to watch Penn
unbelievable.
State football. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's unbelievable. I went to Virginia Tech, which is also a 100% college town. It's uh, Blacksburg, Virginia is a small town with not a ton of people unless the students are in, and it gets pretty big. And then when other fans come in for a big game or something, it's a completely different situation. And I love that college town environment. I just think it's cool that the kids get to um, kind of be in their own bubble. It's especially when you're doing that transition from high school to being an adult.
Yeah.
I think it's a great way to do it. You're not necessarily in a big city where you have to, maybe deal with some things that kids may not be used to or prepared for. I just think it's a great way to do college. Well, tell me, with being in State College, kind of a small market, beautiful area. Um, for the people that are not familiar with the area, tell me a little bit about just what State College is like. Aside from the school, what would you say about the area?
It's relatively a very safe place. We're not, I wouldn't say that we're really urban or suburban. We're kind of, we're very small. Our stores are very limited
Yeah,
to what you would see in a bigger city.
right.
Our restaurants, we have a lot of really great mom and pop places to eat that
Yeah.
unless you live here or ask somebody, you wouldn't even know existed. So
Oh, that's
obviously we have
awesome.
our, yeah, we got our chains places, but we also got some really great smaller mom and pop shops. I mean, it's the crime rate is low. It's a good area to live in. It really is.
Okay. Awesome. We're going to save some of the restaurant picks for the end. That's kind of like burying the lead, but that's so cool. Tell me a little. Let's go back to the mortgages for just a second, because if you are again a young person, or maybe even a retiree that's moving to the area because it's a beautiful area, and you want to be, I don't know, maybe close to your kids, or the family that has a connection to the area. Um, what are you recommending that they do if they're thinking about making a purchase in the next year, or next couple years? Um, what would you recommend that they do?
As far as places to visit, oh, we have so
No,
many.
I'm talking mortgages again now. If
Oh,
they're,
mortgages.
yeah. I mean, would you recommend that someone uh, save up to put a bigger amount down, do a mortgage, and try to refi in a couple years, go in with other family members? What kind of things would you recommend for, or maybe give a couple different situations?
Yeah, so our market is very, very fast paced. So for every one home that comes on the market, there is literally, if it's priced reasonably, you've got about 8 to 15 offers on every home.
Wow.
So the biggest thing that I can stress is not asking for a seller assist. The seller assist is something that you're asking the seller to give up, which is more money out of their pocket.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent of using government loans, which is,
Okay.
less money out of your pocket for down payments.
Hmm.
I'm a big proponent of using that to
Yeah.
just get you into the home.
Right. So you're
Everything
talking like FHA, or what kind of?
FHA, USDA, even veteran. I mean, if you're a veteran, let's use everything we can because it's going to get you in for the least amount of money, especially for the people who have limited resources for down payment, closing cost money.
Wow.
And,
Okay.
most of our government loans, most of our current buyers always need a seller assist, which isn't a bad thing, but it's harder to get in this type of market.
Yeah. Yeah. So you mentioned USDA. I'd forgotten about that. So I guess it is rural enough where you can actually get some of those deals too.
A good portion of the outskirts. You're not going to buy right downtown State College,
Yeah.
but once you get on the outskirts, like about we're located on Atherton Street. We're in Patton Township, so you get half a mile down the road, you're
Yeah.
into USDA territory.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
And just for the people that don't know, the USDA, I think that's like a VA loan where they help with the down payment money,
it's
right?
0% down. It is a zero
Boom.
percent down. It's a great program. It's a great program.
Yeah. For those of you that are thinking about investing in property, and you know, you're not sure you're going to be able to come up with the money because the home values have gone up so much. Here's an opportunity that, the mortgage professionals can sometimes find you an opportunity to get that help on the down payment if you are buying in an area that's a little bit rural. You just have to work with a pro that can help you find those programs.
Absolutely, absolutely. And a USDA loan, you do have to be owner occupied.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
owner
Can't be
occupied.
an investment property.
Right, can't be an investment property, but owner. Everyone downplays USDA, but I'm telling you, it's a great loan program. It's a really good loan program.
Very good. Very good. And then uh, veterans, you mentioned the VA program, I believe.
Yes,
That's not
veterans
yet.
is again 0% down. It's if you're a veteran, I would be taking advantage of those programs all day long,
That's super
all day
cool.
long.
My son is getting ready to go into the Marine Corps. He goes to officer candidate school later this month, and we're excited for him, and I'm proud of him. But
Good.
one of the great benefits that he found out about was that he will be eligible for that VA program. And so he was blown away. And I said, yeah, it's legit. You're going to use that. He was asking me, hey, is it just for one house? Can I use it for a couple? And um, my understanding from doing financial counseling with the military is that, yeah, you can use it for even multiple homes.
Yes.
So
Yes, sometimes you can have two VA loans at a time. Sometimes you can, not always, but sometimes you can have two, but you
yeah,
just keep using it over and over and over again. So, people will
yep,
start out small and just keep going up the ladder and buying a home that's more, more expensive as they progress in their careers.
yeah, because I know that some of the soldiers and Marines that I've worked with in the past, they, they were in one location, but they, just got transferred, and um, it was the next home that was also being purchased with VA was going to be their residence, so it still qualified.
Yeah.
And that amount, that max on the VA loans is, what is that, up to like $500,000 or something now? Or
I think it's well over that. I think it's almost at 700,000.
that's
And something
unbelievable.
that's really cool about a VA loan is that they're assumable. So I just had
I
a
didn't know that.
gentleman, yeah, I just had a gentleman yesterday. I apologize about that. I just had
That's
a
right.
gentleman yesterday that I did a loan for him a year and a half ago, who we did a VA loan for, and he's being reassigned. And his
Wow.
house has been on the market for 32 days. He had somebody else that is a veteran who he wanted just to assume the loan. So
Yeah,
basically, they just walk in right to the new loan.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I wonder how many people are out there right now wishing that they could do that with these, 4% loans that are out
300%
there.
loans, right? Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. That would be that would be great, especially if you're a veteran.
right,
Yeah.
right. Now, I had heard in the past that I think that even like FHA was assumable too, right? But
Under certain circumstances, it can be. Not all of them, but certain ones it can be. Yeah.
wow. But yeah, that seems like it's a little bit tougher to make work. I mean, I've
It
heard
is.
that people
Yeah.
have to qualify, but I don't know. I think if you're a bank and you can do a new loan at 7%, they probably make it pretty tough for you to go back and assume some 3%,
I think
4% loan.
the bigger problem you have with it is that nobody wants to take what's owed for the house. They always
Oh,
want their profit for it. So
yeah,
that's what happens if you owe 200,000 on your house. The next
yeah.
person coming in, their loan is, they're just basically taking over your loan for 200,000, where they're not
Oh,
getting any of the profit, right? So if your house is now worth 250, you're walking away from $50,000 worth of equity.
oh, okay. Yeah. So
That's
that
where,
might, yeah. So
yeah.
maybe a family member might do that for another family member, but most people aren't going to do that.
Most people aren't going to do it. It's a shame,
Yeah.
but like I said, my borrower called just yesterday asking about his VA assumable loan, and so we were
Yeah.
able to get him set up. So I think he's actually going to just like his transfer order. His order transfers got moved, so he was here and now he's being transferred. So he's gotta go
Yeah.
quickly.
Well, we're glad that all of those military service members are going quickly and doing things for us that we take for granted every day.
Absolutely.
What quick thought I was having about just where rates are and opportunities that I keep thinking about the young people that are trying to get into homes, because I've been blessed to have such an easier situation this last 20 years. Um, I'm wondering, do you think these arms are going to come back? Are we ever going to have a big difference in the arm rates from the fixed rates again?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think that especially with it being so unpredictable, I would be a little bit hesitant to put someone in an arm personally. I think
Yeah.
that going into a fix is always better if you can. I
Right.
mean,
Oh yeah.
the rates are eventually the rates are going to come down. So we have a very great slogan that says "Marry the house and date the rate," right? Because we can
Yeah.
all refinance and get your rate lower. But there's
Yeah.
also good programs like 2-for-1 buy downs where you can buy your rate down 2%,
Yep.
for periods of time. So there are definitely ways, especially for first time home buyers, of making things more affordable for them until
Okay.
financially, the economy's back in a better place.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I do remember the problems that a lot of people got into with the arms, and I definitely don't want people to get in messes like that again. But I was just thinking about situations where if there was a 7-year arm or one of these where someone knows they're not going to be in the house a long, long time. Some of those, but if there's not a big difference in the rate, then it's not even worth taking the chance.
It isn't. No, it really isn't. And right now, the rates for arms are sometimes the same, if not even higher than they
Yeah,
are on 30-year fixed.
yeah. Okay. Well, that's uh, um, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, tell me if we are uh, um, in the industry, if we're uh, real estate professionals, we're agents, and we're wanting to do more business in state college. Maybe you're an agent. Somebody's an agent in a different part of PA. Um, should they be thinking about state college for investment properties for their investment clients, or what kinds of um, opportunities should we promote for state college?
That's a good question. So I mean, we are heavily populated with both. We have a lot of investment properties, especially for students. We
Yep,
have a lot of parents that will just buy a property for their children to live into for the next four
yep.
years, right? Because
That's a great way to do it. Yeah,
it's cheaper than most other living
yeah,
here, especially dorms. Dorms are very expensive, so
yep,
we have a lot of that. But we also have a lot of people that just live here, right?
yeah,
We have a lot of retirees that come back here. We have a
yep.
lot of families here. I mean, Penn State's our biggest employer. So, there's a lot of full-time residents here. So I think either one of them would be a good place. I mean, a good one to be in.
Okay, okay. Well, that's great. Let's transition to just talking about the things that are unique about State College, and most importantly, the food, because that's usually what I care about.
Yeah.
Tell me about if three things that people have to see if they come to town. Tell me about and tell me about three things they need to do. I'm assuming going to a game would be one of them. And tell me about three restaurants that they need to go check out.
Oh, wow. So, three things to see. You need to go to the Nittany Lion Shrine, where they have this
Nice.
lovely giant Nittany lion that everyone loves to go and have their pictures taken with.
Yep.
The Arboretum. Penn State also has a beautiful arboretum. It is
Mm-hmm.
filled with flowers and fountains, and it's a really cool place.
Yeah.
And everyone has to drive by Beaver Stadium. It's on the same road as the Arboretum. You can't miss
Yep.
it. It is one of the biggest stadiums in college football.
That's awesome. What's the name of the stadium again?
Beaver Stadium.
Beaver Stadium. Okay.
Beaver Stadium, absolutely.
Okay. So they're the Nittany Lions, but it's Beaver Stadium. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Beaver
Okay. Just
Stadium. Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
And let's talk
Three
about the
things to
food
do.
now.
Oh, three
Oh,
things you
three things
have
to
to
do. I'm
go.
sorry. Yeah.
Three things
Yeah.
you have to do is you have to go to a game. It's magnetic. I live literally about 3 minutes from the stadium, and you can hear it in my house. It is that
Yeah.
loud.
Like an
It is.
earthquake, right?
Oh, it is. It's the tailgating is phenomenal. It's an all day event for most everybody.
Yeah.
But being inside that stadium it's electrified. I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
That's awesome.
Um, Something else to do, as I would say, is to go to Arts Fest. Every year, I think about 3 or 4 days, they close major streets in downtown State College, and they
Uh-huh.
host artists from all over the country.
Yep.
With and it's huge. It's days and days worth of great art and stuff like that. So that is a really cool thing to do. The third thing is honestly, I hate to say it, but go to a wrestling match.
Oh
You
yeah. Yeah.
wanna, you wanna,
Absolutely.
that is just as exciting as football.
Yep.
Especially if you're a wrestling fan, it's great. The energy is great. Our coach here does a great job with his
Yep.
team. So those were the three things. If I were coming to Penn State, those were the three things I would do.
Yep. Yeah. I just, and I have to say, I love the way these young men are representing the university. It was really a lot about team. They had uh, they were class acts. It was great to see.
Yeah.
Um, and Lastly, let's talk about the food. Tell me about 3 restaurants that we have to go to when we're in State College.
So for me, I would say you have to go to this little place. It's in Belfont. So it's about a 15-minute drive from State College, and it's
Yep.
called Jim's. And it's Jim's Italian cuisine. And honestly,
Yep.
it looks like a little hole in the wall.
Yep.
But if you love spaghetti and a really good garlic bread, you
Oh
gotta
yeah.
go to Jim's. It is amazing. We love Jim's.
Okay. Super cool. Shout out to Jim's. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Second
right.
place I would say would be downtown. We have the Tavern, the
Yep.
Tavern restaurant. So it's very hard to get in there. So I would recommend you make reservations if you want to get in. But
Yep.
that is well known. That's where everybody goes.
Yeah. So is that like a sports bar place, or is that, more of
Oh,
an upscale? It's
just more of an upscale. It's really good home cooked food. It's great. They have great steaks. I'm a
oh,
steak
that's a
person,
steak
so they
place.
have really great steaks.
Okay. All right. I'm getting fancy. Okay. And thirdly, the big finish. What's the third place we have to go eat in State College?
Champs. Champs Sports Bar downtown.
Okay.
They've the screens. They've got the whole atmosphere of Penn State when you're down there. Everyone needs to go to Champs at least once.
Okay. Outstanding. Well, when we're in town, when my Hokies play Penn State, I'll have to go definitely go check out Chance, because that would be during
Absolutely.
football season.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that's a little bit of a quicker wrap up on the major topics that I think I told you. But I wanted to also take just a second. Do you have any fellow BNI members that you want to give a shout out to that you think we'll be connecting with, or that because we want to certainly keep promoting our fellow BNI members as we build out this network of professionals on New to Media from BNI.
Absolutely. I have a great BNI chapter, and we have spoken about it. And so I think that we're going to be seeing Sarah Fisher, who is a wonderful realtor.
Okay, fantastic.
Booker Riddick he is our commercial realtor. I think that he is going to love doing this. This is right up his alley. I've got a couple of tradesmen, Elmer Glick and John
Yep.
King, who I think will all be great fits for this.
Okay, fantastic. Well, I'm sure they'll appreciate the shout out. Want to thank everyone in Wendy's chapter for reaching out when you get the chance. And we look forward to doing more of these podcasts so that we can promote the great business owners that we're connecting with in BNI. Wendy, I want to thank you for taking the time to connect with us. Again, for those of you that haven't had a chance, I believe I have the email correct, wendy@coremortgageservices.com. And again, I'm Zach Cockfield. I'm a certified financial planner. If there's anything that I can do to be of assistance with any of these business owners that we serve, please feel free to email me. You can reach me at thecfoadvisors.com or at my email, which is isaac.cockfield@lpl.com. Wendy, thank you so much for taking the time to connect, and hope everyone has a great day out there.
Thank you.